Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Inside the Big Dynasty League, filmed in front of a live studio audience. Studio audience, let me hear you cheer. Woo! All right, yes. Actually, Inside the Big Dynasty League Studios 2.0.
New studio, that's right.
New studio, a little bit more space. As you can see, I'm not on top of the Statman. But speaking of that,
I kind of miss it.
With me, as always, is the commish, Clyde Randall Waters, and the Statman, Petey Cunningham. We're going into week 4 here. Season 4, super exciting. Really big week last week with all the doubleheaders. I love the doubleheader weeks myself.
So great.
So awesome. So let's take a look at last week's matchup of the week.
Matchup of the week.
All right, this matchup starred myself, Mike Berry, as the owner of the Cincinnati Bourbon Barons, versus Hernandez's Pistol Offense, owned by one Timmy Crawford. Statman, why don't you break this down for us?
It's very easy to break this down. This was a whooping, actually. 35-point beatdown of Hernandez's Pistol Offense. You get your first career win over Hernandez's Pistol Offense. Also, want to point out, you already surpassed last year's win total and tied 2013's win total. So this is already the second best year.
Oh, I'm ready. This is going to be the best year for the Bourbon Barons ever.
I like it. Matt Stafford gave you 30 and the Chiefs defense gave you 35, and really other than that, your team really didn't do too much, but they really didn't need to.
No, I mean, they all did about enough. They all did just enough. Would have liked a little bit more out of Mohamed Sanu come Monday night, but that's for a different matchup. But yeah, I was very happy. I was real excited to get the win over Timmy, especially after all the horrible things he said in his interview last week.
Yeah.
I just felt like the league needed me to win. So that type of poor sportsmanship and language is known not to be tolerated. It doesn't lead to good things.
Karma comes back around. And when you...
Karma chameleon.
That's right.
Karma chameleon.
So, can we break down your quote after the game?
Yes.
After the game, your quote is saying, "This team has served notice."
Boom! Notice has been served.
That's a very confident statement after a big win like this.
I was very confident after the win. Before the win, not so much confidence. Winning, turns out, builds confidence.
So, you have a trifecta at QB right now. What's your plans?
Well, I threw out an offer to an individual on a team called Get Off Me.
Get off me! Get off me!
They seem to be struggling, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later. Their quarterback seems to be doing...
We're going to find out why.
Record-breakingly bad, I might add. So I offered them a Russell Wilson. Probably might have even gotten Stafford if he pushed for it, but he only wanted Wentz, and I'm thinking Wentz is a rookie with the price I have. I'm going to try to keep him because he's doing real well. But he didn't want it, but I'm open. Someone wants to take one of these guys off my hands for a good trade, maybe a good younger running back. I'm willing to do it.
Good to know. I love to hear the trade rumors like that. I think we need to add something to the show, dig in the trade rumors that are going on in this league.
Ooh, I like it.
A trade detective segment. One of us could wear a trench coat. Have a magnifying glass. All right, that's enough planning of the show. Next up, what other matchups do we want to take a look at this week, Statman?
I got one that I was just going to throw out that we could look at.
All right, let's do it.
It was Wayne Enterprises versus the Scarlet Pimps.
Pimps!
Felt good to get this win. Scarlet Pimps, the defending champ, got her team rolling. It felt good to just put down a little order in the sibling relationship. I mean, I don't normally beat my sister.
But when you you beat her.
But when
thoroughly.
I do, it's in the Big Dynasty League.
You know, when you beat her, it's thoroughly.
It is thoroughly. That's right.
I mean,
a whooping.
My goodness, you totally destroyed her. I mean, this is like Brady Manning when you guys meet. It's crazy.
It is kind of Brady Manning. I don't really like that though because right now she's Tom Brady. She's the one that's got the ring.
Yeah.
I've got.
You are Peyton Manning.
I put up the most regular season points.
And then suck in the playoffs.
2 years, and then I fail in the playoffs.
You know, your approaches are definitely similar in that way too. Like you're very analytical. You break down the game, and you're looking at all the plays. You know, like Peyton Manning, just like up there, just calling the shots. But your sister's just like, what? She is that player, and he gets that kind of points. You know, is it because she's leading this team, or is the guy really that good?
She has her Belichick, which is the people who always draft for her. So she's like Tom Brady.
True.
She's not really that good. As the Patriots showed this week, Tom Brady is just another quarterback. It is Belichick that runs that thing like a machine, and Brady is not needed. So that is it. She has Belichicks who draft for her, even if the Belichick's Peyton Manning, or the Belichick is Bryce, the owner and current owner of one of the teams here, whose name I forget.
Mr. Clutch's fake football team.
So, I mean, I think it's safe to say
theory.
She's definitely Tom Brady and you're Peyton Manning. She does have the ring, though. Let's not forget that.
She does have the ring. She has the trophy. I'm not touching the trophy until I win it.
That trophy is so beautiful.
So beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Let's move on.
All right.
One other matchup that I kind of want to talk about was FC Acid Kickers against Hernandez's Pistol Offense.
Yes, the Acid Kickers. The Acid Kickers not exactly having a dominant year. Statman, I'm not the math man, so I'm going to go to you for this. Have they won before this year?
Have they won before this?
No, they are 1-4.
So they are 1-4. So they get their first win against Hernandez's Pistol Offense.
I think that could be wrong. Let me double check.
Let's punch this right in the math. Let's get this answer.
I'm honestly not sure. I feel like they got to win.
That's the Kickers are 2-3. Sorry,
2-3. Okay, so they had 2 wins.
Or 2-3 now. They had 1 win going into this week.
One coming in this week. They got the win here. There was something interesting about how they got the win here.
You mean like how they only lost by a few little points? That maybe if their punter would have shown up a little bit more, they could have won? Oh.
That's interesting. Hernandez's Pistol Offense lost by 2 points, but his punter was outscored by 3 points. And the team name that he lost to was the Kickers.
The Kickers? And the Kickers are what beat him.
See, in the interview last week, Timmy totally forgot who his punter even was. He called him Johnny something. And that's not even who he was. I think Donnie Jones was out to prove a point to Timmy that he should know who his punter is and show him some respect.
Every player is important.
Even the punters.
Even the punter. Even the punters are people too.
All right. Well,
and it's ironic because he's the one that brought up the whole punter thing.
I know.
And it did allow us to meet one of our over-unders from the week.
True.
From the first week. Me and you both took the under. And we won.
That's right.
All right. Any other matches we want to look at? Are we ready to move on to the awards this week?
I mean, we could talk about how I won one game this week.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that one.
What game was it?
I beat the EBDBB&B.
EBDBB&B. I can say it this week. EBDBB&B. You laid a whooping on them. by the way.
Pounding.
They had 70% efficiency, but even if they would have been 100,
I mean, the points you
still
scored.
won.
I mean, you could have probably beaten anybody in the league, except for like one person.
Any week, any
what
team.
are the chances that you would have played the one other person who could have beat you?
Apparently, pretty high.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to do that to you. It was his birthday, Monday night, and my team just had to go out and score. I think they scored 15 touchdowns.
Can we just
But
talk
unofficially.
about that I dropped a 97.6 efficiency rating in this game?
Man, that's what I'm talking about.
And you had a higher efficiency rating than I even
I
did.
know. Oh, all I needed was Gronk to show up. Well, that wouldn't help me get you probably. But, man.
So this is now... So we just finished week 3.
Mm-hmm.
This is now the second time already this year that the highest in points played the second highest in points. And the only week that it didn't happen, number 2 in points played number 3 in points. So...
Got a very competitive lead this year. That's what I'm hearing.
We got really good teams getting losses, which also means that not very good teams are still getting wins. So the standings might not be exactly as they seem as far as best teams.
This season's going to be a grind.
It is.
Grind.
We'll move on to our awards here. Starting off with the Hershey Milk Dud of the Week. This is the player that just gets stuck in your teeth and just has what could be a horrible, just awful performance. And this week, ladies and gentlemen, a man worked really hard. I mean, he tried so hard to get this. I think he ended up having 4 or 5 interceptions. 6 interceptions. Actually, on the way off the field, I heard he threw his helmet, and that too was intercepted.
Wow.
None other
day.
than Ryan Fitzpatrick, owned by Get Hoffman.
Get off me!
Statman, just break down. I mean, was he bad enough to be the worst player in BDL history?
Yes.
Oh!
Yes. This is the worst score by an individual that it was been started in BDL history. Previous worst was 2014 Phillip Rivers.
Started by me.
Started by the Bench Dogs, as their team, as that franchise was called back then. But he only had negative 5 points. Fitzpatrick had negative, was it 6?
6.28 points.
6.2.
I think it's that Harvard education that got him the extra 0.28.
I think it's because he plays for the Jets.
No, Jets.
Anyways, we were all pretty high in Get Hoffman going into this season. I think someone's even predicted him possibly making it to the championship game.
I think somebody predicted him to win the championship game.
Maybe.
It is going to be a tough road if he can't figure out this quarterback situation.
Still got a really good team.
Yeah,
Get
early.
off me.
It's
Yeah.
early. You can limp into the playoffs at 8-5 in this league.
Yeah, it's not over,
That's
but
statistically impossible.
he's got to. Man,
8-8, 9-7.
You know what I mean.
It's that old age. It's
Yeah.
just starting to hit you up. But
Next.
no, Get off me. Get off me got anything from Fitzpatrick, like 5 points even. He beats the 69ers.
yeah, but he didn't.
But he didn't.
Next up, we got the Ram Pickup of the Week, brought to you by Ram Pickup Trucks. They're super tough and awesome. This one's going to who, Kamish?
This one goes out to Dennis Pitta, picked up and played by the San Francisco 69ers.
All
And
right.
yes, that is a sex joke.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
That's 2 weeks in a row, I believe he's got this award. Or at least the second time this season getting this award.
Making some changes, making the moves, picking up good people. That's a way to get yourself to the playoffs, I've been told.
One thing I've noticed is our free agent pickups. I feel like last year we had a lot of times where this award would be won by somebody who scored like 25 points.
Right.
Point totals are a lot lower so far this year.
They are. But yet league scores are at a high.
True.
Oof, math. Numbers, right? Next up, we got the Dave Lapham Whooping of the Week. This goes to the team that gets beaten so bad that Dave Lapham can't help but go, woo! Oh boy, balls out! And this one's going to Wayne Enterprises in the epic beating of his sister nearly to death with a 96-point margin. Statman, would you like to say anything about this or apologize to your bruised sister who you have beaten
I'm not apologizing. She's got the trophy. That's what really matters. Basically, this was just to send a message. Hey, I'm coming for that trophy this year. That's all I really want to say. I want that trophy.
All right. Next up, we got the Resurrected Team of the Week, brought to you by Lazarus Department Stores. And this one's going to who, Statman?
This one is going to, and this is the first time ever we're giving this to a team that actually lost. Los Pandas Desnudos scored 92 points last week. Doubled their score, over doubled their score this week, but went 1-1. But they still get it. They still get it.
That's a resurrection if I've ever seen one. It's a resurrection, but then you found out your arm still kind of doesn't work right. But still a resurrection. Next up, we got the Poopery Poo Poo Team of the Week, brought to you by Poopery, the drops in the toilet to help keep out the stank. This one goes to the team that just stank beyond stankiness, and their stink level was at least 11. Oh. Kamish, who's getting the stank award?
Man, all I say is there was so much stank brought in by this team this week. I feel like just poo is just part of this broadcast tonight.
I'm telling you, poo is everywhere.
But anyways, this goes out to Get Off Me!
Get Off Me!
Only put up 104.22 points this week. Broke the century mark, which I couldn't do last week. But 0-2 for this week. Starting the season off at a dismal 1-4. Even a little bit lower than me because I got some higher point totals.
Oh, man. It is rough. Like we already went over it. I think he got a good team. It was a fluke week. Needs a better quarterback situation. But besides that, he's getting there. Next up, we got the Proactive Breakout Player of the Week. This one goes to the player that just broke out and had an amazing performance, way above what he normally does. Remember, if you're getting a breakout, use Proactive. Statman, who's getting this one?
None other than my very own Tevin Coleman is getting this one. 29.9 points. Contributed to that beatdown on Monday. Had 3 touchdowns. I believe he had about 80, 90 total yards. I'm honestly not sure. I was too drunk on my team's points by that point. But yeah, Tevin Coleman. Previous high was 16.7 in week 1 of this year. Didn't even break double digits last year. He even had a 100-yard rushing game, but he fumbled, so he didn't even have a double digit game. So,
well, hopefully
Tevin Coleman doing big things.
Hopefully it's a sign of things to come if you're a fan of the Wayne Enterprises.
And also, I just want to point out, I did mention it earlier, but Wayne Enterprises scored the most points in the league this week, but it comes with an asterisk. It's because of the punter. Under the old scoring, they had the second highest score.
Okay.
The Scarlet Pimps still has the true record for most points in the league. So, Peyton Manning, got to be respectful, show a little class to Tom Brady.
Yeah, even though it's just ran by Belichick and not really that good.
True.
So let's. This week we actually have a remarkable interview. One I didn't think we could land. This guy is important and he's powerful.
And we forgot. Why did we skip over the fact that he went 2-0 last week?
Yeah, he went.
We didn't even mention it.
I mean, he
I think I know why we didn't talk about it. But anyway,
he was 2-0. He's a great person. I really like the guy. Let's go out and we're going to throw it to the stat man, who's going to do a live, by recorded interview with the owner of the JPP firework incident, Alan Henley or Hennel, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Stat man, it's all you.
Thank you, Mike. We are here with Alan Henley. Alan, I'm sorry about what Mike just said about you, talking about that matchup last week. He got a little out of hand. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can't win them all.
Can't win them all, that's right. Must be tough to get that first loss of the year. But anyway, we're here with you. Brand new team owner in the Big Dynasty League this year. You have been an avid follower of the BDL. What's it like to actually be in the mix this year?
It's hard to put in words, honestly. It's a ton of fun. I've never been in a real league before, so I'm pretty much putting all my energy into this league. So it's different, it's exciting, it's competitive, and I'm loving it so far.
So you've never been in a real league. Is that why you showed up at the draft in a full suit? You just didn't know what the proper attire was for a fantasy draft?
I mean, part of it was probably didn't know the proper attire. Part of it was in a boardroom. So if If you're in a boardroom,
Understandable.
you got to be ready to go.
Got to be official.
So
You got to look the part.
yeah, you don't see the NFL, real NFL people in the boardroom in some sweatpants and a t-shirt. They're all in their suits,
That's
ready
true.
to go.
That's true. Well, apparently your strategy is paying off. 3-2, coming off a 2-0 week. Only kept Andrew Luck and Cecil Shorts. I don't know what is with this franchise and keeping players that aren't actually on teams when the year starts, but we don't need to go there right now. Coming off a 4-12 year for the previous year for this franchise. What's been the secret to your success so far this year?
Well, to start, the secret was punters. As soon as I heard punters, I knew punters had to be in it. It gave everybody, they had to put another person on their roster, which, leaked some more people for me to get. I knew I was only keeping 2 people. Cecil Shorts ended up being a big dud. Got rid of him. Andrew Luck hasn't played great, but he's been worth it. So punters was the first success. After that, it was just I knew I wanted Stephon Diggs. He was the one player that
You had to bring him up.
it's the one player I absolutely wanted, and you didn't keep him.
My only failure so far in the BDL this year.
Yeah.
Oh well, I mean most points already, so
It's true.
it's okay. And your second most points.
Second most points, so I'm coming.
Top
for
2
you.
right here. Top 2. You guys are watching this. That's right. So you got DeMarco Murray, who is number 7 in fantasy points right now. I was not so high on him coming into this year. Do you see him sustaining his success?
I'm a little worried about him, honestly. He was actually my first pickup, first BDL drafted player for, I think, $19. So I'm a little scared with Derrick Henry behind him, but he continues to just sustain about 20 points a game. He's right there, and even with Derrick Henry behind him, I think the competitive player behind him just giving him an extra boost into some good fantasy numbers.
Might be good having Derrick Henry there to kind of split the carries. I mean, that year Dallas, he had, I think it was 550 carries is what he had. That's an unofficial number.
And
I'm not totally sure.
He's getting a ton of receptions, which is nice.
That does help, PPR league. All right, so going back to last week, do you have any response to what Mike was saying about you? I mean, he used some. He went a little carried away there.
Sometimes you talk the talk, but you can't always talk your way into a win.
That's true.
So he might have been 3-0, but you can't win them all. And sometimes talking doesn't get you victories.
That's true. As we saw last week.
Yeah.
And that. All right. How do you? You're playing this brother. You're playing your brother this week. How do you see this matchup playing out? He's got a pretty good team.
He's got a good team. It's going to be tough. I don't think we have major impact from bye weeks. So I think we're going to be pretty much 100% full team ready to go.
Good.
I think I have a slight edge just with some of my players who've just stepped up this year so far. Nobody saw Steve Smith coming in and being as productive as he is. Demaryius Thomas has been really good with a quarterback that has a very weird last name.
No, we're not trying to pronounce his last name right now. We're not doing it.
That's too much work. So I think I'm going to get him, but I think it's going to be really close and really competitive.
I like it. So you're in a tough division right now. Top 3 scorers are in your division. Every team except for one, I believe, is 3-2 or better. Are you going to make the playoffs?
We're hoping so. I believe I can make the playoffs. I think I've had a really great start. Last year, I think the franchise started off 0-5, and I've already got.
That is correct.
I've already got 3 wins. Even last year it was 4-12 the entire year. I only need one more to tie that, and I think I'm sitting in a very good spot to do so. Like you said, second in scoring. I don't see my team stopping.
I like it. Well, you do play me twice this year, I believe. So good luck in those matchups.
It'll be good. It'll be exciting.
They should be pretty exciting.
I don't think you can score 220-something points every week.
Not every week,
but
no.
You can try.
I mean, I think my lowest this year has been like 164, so.
My highest has only been 158, but I'm coming for you.
I like it. All right, well, thank you for joining us
on
Inside the BDL. Glad to have you in the league.
Thank you.
Good luck the rest of this year, and don't get physical with Mike next time you see him.
I will not get physical with Mike.
All right, Mike, keep it calm. Back to you.
All right, Stat Man. Good job, man. Way to stay classy. Next time, try to keep your pants on. Thank you. So I thought that was a good interview, really awesome. So let's get into this week's matchup of the week.
Matchup of the week.
This week's matchup is brother versus brother, sibling versus sibling, older versus younger, larger versus smaller. The EBDBBMB versus the JPP firework incident. Owned by none other than Alan Henley and Brian Henley. And I like to pronounce their name Hinnell. Statman, break this down for us. What is going on?
Great matchup between the bros this week. I mean, EBDBBMB is projected to win, but that's with the Texans defense scoring 20 points. As we just found out today, breaking news, J.J. Watt on injured reserve, out for probably the year.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like with back issues.
Wah.
So I see no way that the Texans defense actually scores 20 points losing.
Yeah, I mean, you're losing your star. That's going to be hard to do.
It's going to be hard to do. JPP firework incident. It's got that three-headed monster running back with LeGarrette Blount, DeMarco Murray, Theo Riddick. I'm just going to throw out my prediction. JPP firework incident and a rout this week.
All right. Kamish, what do you think of this breakdown?
Like you said, JPP firework incident is loaded in that running back position. Surprisingly, LeGarrette Blount, he's just having a resurgence up there in New England. DeMarco Murray, he too, resurgence in Tennessee. Theo Riddick, I think it's going to be a week-to-week thing, but solid there. But I'm also impressed with this receiving core he managed to put together as a new franchise in the league. Stephon Diggs, shown to be a big pickup for him in the free agency this year. Demaryius Thomas, dropped him but then re-signed him twice. I don't know why Demaryius Thomas keeps coming back to the team, but 2 years in a row, gets dropped and re-signed.
He does that to make more money.
Well...
And it works for him every time.
It works.
Anyways, so at the same time, EBDBBMB, they got a pretty solid lineup here. But I think they're very matchup dependent. I'm going to say it's going to be JPP firework incident this week.
I know firsthand what the JPP firework incident can do to a man. I know he is the younger brother. He's the little guy. He's the little bro. But I think little brother's going to beat down the big brother this time. I think the big brother's going to be calling out for mommy. I'm going with the JPP firework incident myself.
Sweep it.
Sweeping that one. This week we don't have a doubleheader week, so we can actually break each matchup down a little bit more, which will be nice. Let's start off with the next matchup of the San Francisco 69ers and Mr. Clutch's fake football team.
I like it.
Kamish, why don't you go first on this one?
I think this is going to be an interesting matchup. I think it could actually be pretty competitive. Both these teams have potential of putting up big scores, but have been falling on the flatter side this season. So we'll see what happens here. I do think the Niners have the edge, but I am loving Mr. Clutch's fake football team's lineup. Rodgers
Bye.
Ooh. Rewind that. San Francisco 69ers, man. I'm just loving their lineup this week. I mean, Carson Palmer, he threw how many picks last week?
5.
3, 4,
Five.
5. He threw 5 picks.
Wow.
Now, he did throw his helmet. It wasn't intercepted. So it's not quite as bad as Fitzy.
And I think he still scored positive points. Oh, man. What to do in this matchup? Let's see. Statman, do you know the all-time series record here?
All-time series record, I believe, is 4-2 Mr. Clutch's fake football team over the 69ers.
I'm going with the Niners. I think I'm going to roll with the Niners this week.
We're going to sweep it. I'm going with the 69ers as well.
Sweep it.
I think
them?
I don't think I've picked yet.
Oh. Well, I guess I should let you pick then. Go ahead.
Mr. Clutch's fake football team, third in scoring, but with Aaron Rodgers out, I believe they got Andy Dalton as a backup. Andy Dalton on a Thursday night against the Dolphins. I'm going with the 69ers. So, yes.
Sweep it. All right. Next up, let's take a look at the Cincinnati Bourbon Barons versus the Unseen Academicals.
Ooh.
I, as always, am going to take myself. I got a lot of belief in my team, and I think it's going to be awesome. Statman, who are you taking?
Bourbon Barons are going to be missing Jordan Matthews this week, which means Carson Wentz is going to be out as well, so you can't start him. So it's either Russell Wilson or Matt Stafford. Russell Wilson with the MCL sprain or something's going on with him. I don't know.
Most likely going to be Stafford this week.
Probably going to be Stafford. Okay, good.
Yeah, no, I'm
All right.
choked up over the whole Carson Wentz bye thing.
Yeah, Unseen Academicals. It's got Christine Michael, who for right now is the feature back in Seattle. Can't remember who they're playing though. This is a tough one. I want to go Bourbon Barons, but I'm going Unseen Academicals to get the win.
Commish.
I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Well, I think it's going to be an interesting matchup, like you said. Let's see, Unseen Academicals, 3-2 all time against the Bourbon Barons. I don't think Kansas City is going to be able to get the kind of points they put up last week. I think I'm going to go Unseen Academicals.
All right, that's fine. I don't need other people to believe in me. I believe in myself. Next up, excuse me, we have Wayne Enterprises versus Hernandez Pistol Offense.
Ooh.
Commish, who do you got?
Wayne Enterprises at Hernandez Pistol Offense. This is just one of those matchups you just love to watch. Love to follow along. These two, when they go head-to-head, you're always in for a big surprise, a good show. And you got two power-packed lineups here. Cam Newton going against Drew Brees. You putting Le'Veon Bell in this week?
Putting Bell in.
Le'Veon Bell against...
Putting him in.
And, Hernandez Pistol, here's a twist. Hernandez Pistol Offense still has D'Angelo Williams starting.
Ooh.
So there's some controversy going on there. Oh, man.
Le'Veon Bell could tear his ACL in the second quarter. It's
Yeah.
very possible. So I don't blame him.
But Hernandez Pistol Offense receiving core is on bye this week. He's losing Randall Cobb and Jordy Nelson. I'm going Wayne Enterprises.
Statman?
If he had Randall Cobb and Jordy Nelson, I would be a lot more confident in Hernandez Pistol Offense. Still got a team that could get the win, but I like Wayne Enterprises to get the win.
Sweep it. Next up, we got the Scarlet Pimps.
Pimps
Versus Get Off Me.
Get off me!
All right, Statman. After the brutal beating you've given your sister here, what do you think her chances are this week? Break this game down for me.
I'm extremely excited to follow this matchup. The Pimps are 3-2. Get Off Me is 1-4. Get Off Me loses this week, and it almost turns into panic time. Still plenty of time to get the wins, get to the playoffs. I still like his team, but I mean, this is gut check time for Get Off Me this week, and I like them to answer the call. Going Get Off Me to get the win here. Move to 2-4. Pimps go to 3-3. That division is still wide open after Bourbon Barons, who are leading that division 4-1. Everybody else is 2-3 or worse. So
I'm hoping to continue to lead it, but we'll see. Commish.
Well, it looks like Get Off Me is going to make the decision to go with Tyrod Taylor this week, seeing after last week's performance with Fitzy, they just dropped him.
didn't even let him get on the bus even.
I know.
I mean, it was...
They just sent him on home.
You can Uber.
So it's gonna be an interesting week. The prediction has these teams possibly falling into the close shave of the week for next week. But when you break it
by
down,
Dollar Shave Club.
when you really look at this matchup, you see that all-time record, the Pimps are only 2-5 against Get Off Me.
Ooh.
Get Off Me is in a corner, and I know them to be a team that fights. I think they bounce back this week and pull off a narrow win.
I was gonna go Pimps, but you guys have convinced me. I'm gonna go Get Off Me. I'm gonna change it right now. You seeing? I changed it.
Sweep
We
it.
sweep it. Next up, we got Los Pandas Desnudos versus the FC Acid Kickers. Statman, break it down.
Los Pandas Desnudos coming off that high-scoring week. Getting a win. Rob Gronkowski will hopefully score some points for Los Pandas Desnudos this week. FC Acid Kickers right now has got Kenyon Drake in the lineup with Arian Foster and his inevitable injuries. It's got Odell Beckham, Des Bryant, I believe has some sort of knee issue as well. I believe found that out.
slight fracture. He's projected to possibly play this week, but could be, limited.
He got a 0 from Delaney Walker last week because he was a late scratch.
Yep.
So I think FCS Kickers is going to do a little better this week than he did last week. But, oh man, I was going to go with Los Pandas Desnudos, but is Julian Edelman going to be quarterback for the Patriots this week?
That's what Rex Ryan thinks. Did you hear what happened today?
I did not.
Rex Ryan showed up at the Patriots press conference and posed as a reporter and straight up asked Julian Edelman if he's going to be quarterback this week. I did not see Edelman's response, but this happened.
Ooh. Crazy things happen in the AFC East.
I'm intrigued. It'll be fun if Edelman becomes quarterback. But, yeah.
I would love to see it. I
would too.
Just like Madden. Okay, prediction time.
Come on.
Los Pandas Desnudos.
All right.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, just move on.
Commish.
Look, I'm 6-1 all time against FC Asset Kickers. That record's going to keep going. I'm moving to 7-1.
Sweep it. And with that, I have saved my fantasy pool picks. A little update on the fantasy pool picks here. We only have one team, one owner, who seems to refuse to enter his fantasy pool picks, and that is the FC Asset Kickers. I'm calling them out by name. That's right, people. Get them in. Everyone else seems to got them in last week.
It's so easy.
Sitting on top of the heap right now is Get Hoffme, followed by the Bourbon Barons and Wayne Enterprises, tied for second.
Get Hoffme with a 3-game lead right now on the Bourbon Barons and Wayne Enterprises.
Get your picks in. There's money on this. Can't believe the FC Asset Kickers make enough money to turn down an opportunity to get more of it. I just can't believe it, but apparently they do. Get your picks in, ladies and gentlemen. Stay safe out there, and remember, if you get hungry, please eat something. Thank you.
If you get tired, pull over. Have a good night.
I don't have anything except for good luck this week. Except for you, Hernandez pistol offense.